welcome to Your Mother's Tone. Today we're talking about my 1996 Fender Stratocaster, which isn't on at the moment. There it is. I'm going to be talking to you about this. Its history to me, what's cool and unique about it, and how it sort of helps me create the sound that I've got. If that's interesting to you, stick around. If it's not, then I might post a picture of my dog later or something. Maybe I can get some likes that way. So yeah, as I say, this is my 1996 Fender Stratocaster. It's a California series, which apparently means that it was made in the States and then shipped off to Mexico to be painted. It's got a weird sort of serial number where it's like a mixture of the American and Mexican serial numbers. It was sort of a mid-range Stratocaster back in the day, in this sort of cool post-box red colour, I call it. Always makes me think of like Postman Pat or Fireman Sam or anything else that's red, basically. Steak. This guitar has gone through quite a few changes in the past, year really. Because I've had it for a long time. I've had it since I was about 17, which was a long time ago. I never really loved it, I'll be honest. I loved the guitar and I loved what it meant to me. More on that story in a minute. And I couldn't get rid of it, but I just never loved the sound of it. So, as a result, I realised that if I was never going to sell it, I had to make it the Strat that I wanted it to be. Which turns out is to make it not sound like a Strat. What we did, Dan at Two Wood Guitars, who did all the work, I did nothing. He put this Seymour Duncan Pearly Gates in the bridge, which is the Billy Gibbons pickup from ZZ Top. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, not the pickup from ZZ Top. Although I guess if Billy Gibbons is playing it, technically the pickup is in ZZ Top as well. Dunno. Not going to dwell on that. Anyway, so it's got the Billy Gibbons ZZ Top Pearly Gates pickup in it. That's not its full name. And that sounds monstrous. It's also had the trem bolted down and locked, because who fucking uses a trem these days? I certainly don't. I do like the sound that the springs give you. They give it kind of like a funky snare drum kind of feel. They don't at all, but they just have a bit of a rattle, which I quite like. We've also replaced, again, Dan has replaced, I've done nothing, this thing, whatever that is. I think it's called a trem block, not quite sure, but that's now a brass one of those, for reasons that I can't quite remember. But we also added this funky tortoiseshell pickguard, which originally I fucking hated, because I hate tortoiseshell, but actually I thought it looked kind of cool. This weird juxtaposition with the paintwork, the colour. After nearly 15 years of playing this, I'm starting to finally get some plectrum wear around here, which is cool. But other than that, it's pretty decent nick, considering I have thrown it off a stage in anger before. I was going to say more on that story later, but it was a pretty tragic gig, so I'd rather not relive that if I can help it. In terms of the strings, it's got 11s on it. I believe these ones are Ernie Ball Power Slinkies. The 11s, essentially the purple packet. That'll mean nothing to you if you don't play guitar. And even less to you if you play really light gauge strings like a fucking idiot. That's basically it. I'll run through a few of the sounds. On all of my guitars, I spend 95 to 100% of my time on the bridge pickup. But I am going to show you the neck pickup on this, because this is the only guitar that I really use the neck pickup on for a few songs. So there's a song which hasn't been released yet that is called Cakewalk. Cakewalk, not Catewalk. And it has this kind of stoner rock vibe. lends itself to that neck pickup with quite a lot of overdrive on the amp. I don't really use the neck pickup for leads. I always sort of knock down to the bridge for that. The middle pickup is completely fucking useless to me. I don't think does it even work? Yeah, it works. But I constantly switch like this, up, down, up, down. I'm not interested in any of these kind of out of phase. Not interested in any of that shit. Give me full bridge or a little bit of neck. That's it. This guitar is actually mainly used in my other band, Tragicomics, which is a sort of more, it's like alt country. So I tend to use this Strat with that and play most of the time with my volume at about 6. So I have that really nice inoffensive kind of sound, and then I knock it up full volume and then have a boost for my leads. And for me, like, that is the best sounding Strat I've ever fucking heard, because it sounds just better than a Strat in my opinion. So yeah, that's the kind of that's the setup. That's how she plays. Action wise, I guess it's fairly low. You can't get crazy low with these heavier strings, but it's pretty low. It's low enough that unless you were playing like some stupid low Ibanez or something, you wouldn't find this difficult to play. It's not like, you know, set up for a jazz, like a jazz guitar or anything like that. Final point, I guess, is a bit about the history of this, and I've decided I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backing. I'm gonna tell you a story. About this guitar. I mean, I could tell us another story. Maybe I will. Maybe that's what I'll do for the next series of things. I'll just do like Toby's nighttime stories to soft jazz. I literally think I would lose followers if I did that, not getting them. Anyway, this guitar, as I said, it's got this postbox red colour, and that's kind of important because that was the guitar that I always wanted. This colour. When I first started playing, my old man I think I had some pocket money and then he put some money towards it, and we got this Tanglewood 57 series postbox red Stratocaster because that's the one that Mark Knopfler used. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of Dire Straits, it was one of the first guitars that I remember seeing. And red was always my favourite colour when I was a kid as well. So anyway, I had this Tanglewood 57 series for a few years, learned how to play on it, and it was great. I've still got the neck, actually, that I want to do something with. At the moment, it's just a paperweight, a very, very big one that takes up most of a desk. So I finally I came across a guitar that was within my price range. I couldn't afford a fucking standard, but I could get hold of like a Mexican Stratocaster. And I think the one that I found actually was a Highway 1, and it was red. So I think it was a US one actually. Found it on ultimateguitar.com, which anybody who learned to play around the mid-2000s will know quite well. Turned out to be a breeding ground for paedophiles as well, but I never sent any dick pics, so it's fine. What I did do, however, is convince my brother to let me use his credit card, because obviously I didn't have a credit card. I was like 16, 17. To buy a guitar off a man or woman, don't know, on ultimateguitar.com. They had a Dire Straits looking guitar, and they had a Dire Straits name. Their handle was a Dire Straits name, which I'll come back to. So anyway, I had 400 quid. That's exactly how much the guitar was. I've been saving up for a long time, doing my little washing up jobs at cafes and pubs and stuff. And I had 400 quid. So I said to my brother, you know, can you get this on your credit card and I'll send you the money immediately? He said, yeah, why not? So we sent this man £200. Or woman, don't know. Because they said, send us 200 quid, I'll send you the guitar, then you send me the other 200 when it arrives. Not the first internet scam I've fallen for. Not the last either. So we sent up 200 quid, and of course the guitar never arrived. Weeks and weeks and weeks went by. I'd watched the postman coming down the fucking road. Any sign of my guitar? Any sign of my guitar? No. So eventually we realised that we're not going to get this guitar. And my brother claimed what he could off his credit card, and I paid him the difference. Now, through a stroke of luck, or, you know, the universe, a new guitar shop had opened up in the little northern town that I was living in. And sure enough, in the window was a postbox red Fender Stratocaster. And because I'm a crafty little fucker, I managed to convince the staff at the shop to let me give them all the money I had. Some of the money that I had left from, you know, the previous fuck up. And I managed to convince them to let me pay the rest of the guitar off on tick. I had no guarantee of getting that money. I had a shitty job, you know, and for whatever reason, they agreed. I believe the guitar belonged to a guitar teacher at the shop, anyway. And every so often, I'd go into the shop and, you know, I'd say, "Can I play my guitar, please?" And the staff were getting increasingly more annoyed by this irritating child. But nevertheless, I persisted, and eventually, after months and months, many months, I had enough money to pay this guitar off. And I remember I just had enough money if I didn't get the bus to school or college. So I went and picked the guitar up, paid it off, and walked the 3 miles into college with this guitar on my back. I'd never been so proud. I kept stopping on the canal to get it out and play it. This was my guitar. When I got to college and I'm there showing off my new guitar to all my friends, this girl who I've been seeing, who I won't name or tag, because quite frankly I don't want her to see how fat and disgusting I've become. She pulled me aside and said, "We need to have a talk." Which is never good, is it? And she said, "Toby, this isn't working." And I said, "Okay." Her face was confused by that, because she knew I really liked her. I really liked this girl. It took me a long time to convince her to not think I was a fucking moron and to actually go out with me. I mean, years. And I remember thinking, I've just got the guitar of my dreams. Women will come and go, but that guitar will stay with me. And it has. And that's why I've never been able to get rid of it. Because every show I've played, every song that I've written, or most songs that I've written, it's been with this guitar. And it's the guitar I I always pick up when I'm feeling sad. It's the guitar I always pick up when I'm feeling creative. And it's the guitar that means the most to me, I guess. Now, I'm just going to talk about the name of the person that sold me the guitar on guitar, whatever it was, ultimateguitar.com. As I said, it was a Dire Straits name. With this guitar, or this colour guitar, as his avatar. And of course, the song that he chose to call himself was Money for Nothing. Money for Nothing. What a twat. So yeah, that's the story of this, my beloved Stratocaster. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you didn't, then I guess don't watch the other ones, because they're probably equally as boring for you. But yeah, that's it. If you're wondering where I am, by the way, I'm at a place called Gorilla Studios in Manchester. If you are looking to record analog, then you should definitely come here, because this place is the fucking tits. Yeah, that's it. Cheers. Have a good day.